Hey, my beautiful friends, it's Petula Alicia here, and welcome to Evening Reflection. And so, the topic is, when was the last time you were carefree and just had some fun? So hence the reason why I am a flower child this evening. I thought we could just have some fun. And so this evening I have some red wine, and I hope you have your red wine too. And so that we can just get comfortable like girlfriends do and just relax and reflect on the last time you were carefree and just had fun, just didn't overthink, didn't overprocess, just had some plain old-fashioned fun. We will start off evening reflection with breathing breaths. And remember, we inhale through our nose, breathing in deeply, filling up our stomachs like a big balloon and having it expand. And we exhale through our mouths, making that Darth Vader song. As we empty our stomachs, as we exhale, we let all the air out of the balloon and it deflates and goes all the way down. And we are going to start on the count of 3. I like to close my eyes. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Last breath. On evening reflection this evening, I was reflecting back to my early days in the US. And I had a friend, and her name was Lisa. And we were young. I was like mid-20s, maybe 26, but I was still I was still new to America, and everything was new, and I still had that spirit of exploration. And Lisa and I used to get into some trouble, but good trouble, nothing bad, nothing illegal. We used to have fun, we used to laugh. And I remember one time we got it into our heads that we were going to go down to Georgetown. And at that time, I lived in Silver Spring. And we left home kind of late, like probably, I don't know, like really late. And and that was how we were like spontaneous. We were just always game to try anything, do anything within reason, within safety and legal reasons. I need to put that there. But we left late, and we were like, we had never been to Georgetown before. We didn't quite know how to get there. And these were the early days of cell phones. You didn't quite have the whole Google Map thing on your phone. And I mean, cell phones have really improved since the late 90s and stuff like that. But so we set out to go to Georgetown with the limited knowledge we had, and we got on the train. And it had to be really late because we got off the train, but we got off at the wrong stop. And when we tried to get back into the metro system, we couldn't get in because that was the last train. And so we stood by a bus stop, which seemed like hours in the dark. And finally, I don't know if we asked someone or if someone saw us and inquired, but finally someone told us where we were standing, we would never get a bus, and that if we were heading to Georgetown, we should go to another side of the metro and grab a bus. So by this time, it had been hours, and we were tired, and we were like, okay, the adventure is just kind of sucked out. The adventurous spirit and the fun is kind of sucked out of this journey. So we're just gonna head back home. So we get on the bus, and the bus was heading to Silver Spring, and the two of us were on the bus, and we were still in good spirits. And the irony is, we sat on the bus as the bus drove through Georgetown. And we hadn't known that we were like minutes away from Georgetown. We weren't that far away from Georgetown at all. And we didn't know at the time you couldn't take a train that will directly take you to Georgetown. But I say that to say this is like that kind of we ended up going back home, and we were kind of disappointed, but because I enjoyed our company so much, and we made each other laugh, that even though we never made it to Georgetown, we had a ball of a time. And as we passed through Georgetown, and if you guys are familiar with Georgetown in DC, it's one of those major city areas, and so you have the restaurant life, you have the colorful people out, and it was just lights all over. It was just so much. There was music, there were people, there was so much excitement. It was so full of life, and we sat there on the bus like little kids, just like in awe. And it's like, Georgetown. But we were so tired by that time, we didn't care to get off. And then since we didn't really know the bus system, we didn't want to take a chance of not getting a bus home. But I wanted to share that because I miss that side of me. I miss that spontaneous, just picking up and go. And I was that way for a long time. I went hiking, and I did it alone. There, like I would go with hiking clubs and stuff like that. I would take trips with clubs, but like I would go by myself. Like I never waited around to have company to go anywhere or do anything or to have any experiences. And so as I reflect on that, it's like, especially since the week I've had this week has been long. It's been a long week. But there are times when I really want to play, but I can't play because I have work to do. Like how I have my second workshop coming up on the 22nd, which is next week, Friday. And so I do feel the pressure sometimes to put the fun and the relaxation aside and do. And I always have to remember that I do more when I rest and relax and when I have me time. So I just want to encourage you guys to make time for fun and just have some carefree moments. Like right now in my life, because I am trying to do so much things and pack so many things in my day, my carefree fun is turning on a song that I like, that really moves me, and just rocking out in my living room, just like dancing and singing and just like letting it go, and just like being in the moment and feeling the music, because there's no judgment. It's just me in my home having a good time. And so you can do anything that you want to do to have your carefree and fun time. And I say that about being home and putting on my favorite music and dancing, to say that your fun carefree time doesn't have to necessarily mean that you leave home. It's a good idea to leave home, because if you're at home a lot, you sometimes forget that there's a whole big wide world out there with so much excitement, so much good positive things happening. And there's something about being outside, especially in the summer when the weather is fantastic, and being among people who are full of life, and just there's laughter and there's talk, and there's just an energy about that really excites me. I mean, I could just be walking down the street and it might be a smile from a stranger or a little quick conversation with a stranger, but there's something about being out in the world where there's laughter and there's happiness and there's things happening that does something, at least for my soul and for my energy. So I encourage you, like, Sometimes, especially if you're not in a good mood and you're in some kind of a funk or something, just take yourself out. Take yourself out on a little date, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be just a little stroll, or maybe a little lunch or dinner, depending on the time of the day, or maybe take yourself out for breakfast, or maybe just put on your favorite music and dance. But let it be something that actually involves movement and enjoyment, and just have some fun, because at the end of the day, when we are working and we have goals and we are achieving, we cannot forget to live. You can't forget to laugh, to love, to have fun, to have joy. I'm making these suggestions and I am saying it to myself as well, reminding myself that I got to make time for friends, I got to make time for family, and I got to make time for fun and just to be carefree, and just pat myself on the shoulder every now and then and say, hey, look how far we've come. It's time to celebrate. So share in the comment box, because a lot of you will end up catching this on the replay. And so please, I'm asking, please share in the comment box, what was your last carefree fun memory? And if you can't remember when was your last carefree fun memory, my question is, what can you do now at this present stage in your life to bring more carefree fun memories into your life? What comes to your mind that could bring a carefree fun memory into your life? Please share it in the comment box. I would love to hear it. Next week, there will not be any evening reflection, because it's my workshop, and the time for my workshop is from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So there'll be no evening reflection next week. And so the message I want to leave you guys with this weekend is, make carefree and fun memories. And remember to take care of yourself this weekend. Make some time for me time. Make some time to take care of you, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Do something that pampers, that calms, that soothes, that brings you joy, that brings you laughter. Just take care of yourself, okay? Because there's only one you, and you only have one body. You have only one life. So do your very best to take the very best care of you. Yeah. And thank you for joining me for Evening Reflection. I help women master overwhelm and build self-confidence so that they can create a life that they love. And so, as usual, put a 1 in the comment box if this is your first time joining us for Evening Reflection. Put a 2 in the comment box, and I raise the roof for you guys. If you're my usual supporter, thank you all so much. I am honored that you would make time to invite me into your time and space and your life and share this moment and experience with me. So thank you. And for those of you who want to put a 3 in the comment box because you have found value in what I shared with you, go ahead and put that 3 in the comment box right below there. Yeah, that comment box. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will be joining you guys on Monday at around 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Somewhere between 7 a.m. and 7:20 a.m. Eastern Time. I promise I'm going to get better with the time. But join me for Word of the Day. And so have a fantastic weekend. Bye.